Hey guys, welcome to my expansion slash renovation. We're gonna focus on the renovation part and not expansion. So step one will be to try to move all of this big old container away from my spots that I'm trying to put the raised bed in. Typically, I always lay landscape fabric, then raised bed, then cardboard. But because I already have rocks all over the ground, I'm just going straight to cardboard. I do have a canna lily that is in ground, so I'm gonna be walking around it to make sure that so that way the canna lily can continue coming back. So for after I laid the cardboard, I went ahead to go to my compost bin and I dump all the compost that is in there at the to the bottom of this raised bed because they haven't fully broken down yet. So I don't want all the chunks that might be in there on the top level of my raised bed. The next thing I have was all the soil that I have laying around in the garden. I had an empty container that had a lot of soil in it, so I went ahead and transferred those as well to kind of cover out the composts. Personally, I like to water at each level. That way, my raised bed is completely moist. And then I went back in ahead and I started adding more soil again. And then water as I go, add more soil, water as I go to every layer. At this point, since the soil is halfway through, I went ahead and add some perlite to make sure that I don't have to keep tilling the soil at some point to make sure that everything has enough nutrient and enough aeration so that way my water can go freely and there's no clump up of soil. I also added earthworm casting to help invite worms to the soil so they can fully break down the compost at the bottom. Then I added more soil, and I went back in again and I'm amending the top surface of it with some perlite. I was very generous with my perlite. Like I said, I don't want all my roots to suffer and be clumped up. So that's why I'm doing all of that. So at this point though is when I add my Dr. Earth's organic fertilizer to my soil and I gently work it in, work it in, work it in. After that, we will go back in and add some. I think I actually add a bag of here. I have a bag of raised bed mix laying around, so I just use that to top it off so everything looks cute and uniform. Then water it as always because, like I said, I want to have a moist raised bed soil. I don't want anything to be dry. I don't want my root to suffer, especially in this Texas heat. Next up, we are going to be adding some of the okra that was in the container that I got soil from. I went ahead and add them into the raised bed. Unfortunately, some of this went through transplant shock because I was doing this at the wrong time of the day. I'd have done this in the evening. That way, it gives them like hours of time to get used to the spot. This was the next day when I came back. You can see that some of the okra that I transplanted was going through some shock, but it is okra. They will bounce right back. It just might have a little delay. But yeah, that's it.